BDA Boxing, the Boxing Debate Arena, Bucho, Pete, and Stu. And yeah, we're just gonna have a fun show right now, quick show, but entertaining as always. So Stu, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, just put the chat back on for me, will you, please, so I can read some comments as well. Oh, here we go. Yeah. I mean, the news is that Eddie Hearn is willing to give in to Wilder's demands and offer 50-50, and that's basically what it's about. And other topics, of course, but I want to hear what you guys are thinking in the chat. SSB28 says, yo, what's up? Irvin Locke says, Eddie Hearn is not afraid of a 50-50 split. Peter Scalbender, which is Pete. Oh, man, great time in Butcho. Revolutions in the chat.
Let's send him a link. Sorry, my mic's all the way fucking far. Now it sounds much better. All right, Pete. Pete, are you there? I think we lost Pete. Pete's fucking driving still, I think. Did we lose Stu as well? God damn it. Stu, are you there? Jesus, guys, this StreamYard is a piece of shit. I'm sorry. But tomorrow we'll be back on Discord. Don't you worry about that. Let's see. All right, Revolution, I'll give you a link. Just give me 2 seconds. What's FL or FI5H in the chat is saying, all right, lads, thanks for the content. Apart from retarded, what does the LTBC stand for, please? Nah, pretty much just retarded, man. All right, hold on, guys. Give me just 2 seconds. Okay, Stu's back.
Yeah, the StreamYard.
It's garbage. Tomorrow we'll be back on Discord, man.
Yeah, good. Fucking shit, this. Yes. Just can't go on anything else. I mean, can't respond to my text messages, can't go on YouTube, can't do anything. You just clicks off the show the minute I try anything with my phone. It's a joke, man. What sort of apps? It's not an app, is it? That's why.
Yeah, it's a browser. Maybe you have to go into your phone settings and change something for the browser. I don't know. Listen, it is what it is.
Yeah, fucking hell.
All right.
Yardy streams, whatever it's called, load of bollocks.
It's like Yard, Anthony Yard getting knocked out by
StreamYard.
Welcome
Yard.
Sure. I like when the announcers do that shit. They repeat the name twice.
Yeah, I don't know where that started. It's goofy though. I love it.
Yo, you know what the guy said? The Diamante guy, the guy with the fucking weird hair.
Yeah.
Talking of goofy, not good introduction. Revolution. Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like. Is it David Diamante? His name.
Yeah.
I actually like him. I think he's the next best thing. I think.
Oh yeah.
Buffer's days in there, but I mean, Buffer looks $1 million for his age, man. He does.
He's 80-something, man.
He still gets loads of pussy, Buffy, you know. But he's just his voice is going, man. His voice is going. He can't hold it like
a little bit, huh?
I don't get when he used to say when he was in his prime, like when he did Lennox Lewis v Mike Tyson, when Jimmy Lennon Jr. introduced Tyson, then he introduced Lennox Lewis. I think he had a point to prove that night, Michael Buffer, against Jimmy Lennon, and he smashed it. Fucking hell. It brings tingles to my spine when Buffer's at his best. But unfortunately, I've just, like I said, he just ain't got that. He's old. It's like, you know, he's doing well to still look like that and still have a job at that age. Yeah. Never mind do world-class fights. But for me, I think David Diamante seems to be the new guy on the block, and I think he's going to take over from Buffer eventually, I think.
Yeah, Buffer's lost the snap in his punches with age, for sure. He doesn't have the little growl when he goes, let's get ready to run. He doesn't do that anymore.
You're right. It's more of a...
Let's get ready to run. He just goes right into it.
It's more deep and just like, let's get ready.
And he, like I said, he loses his tone in his voice. His tone goes all over the place.
Yeah.
Well,
before he could hold that thing he would hold that rumble forever. I tell you that Diamante is going to have to cut his hair if he wants to go big time.
I was thinking. That's kind of like he's like
is that hair about? What the fuck is that? What, who does he think he is? Fucking Rapunzel or something?
He's probably like an ex like crust punk or something. Listen to bands like Dystopia.
I'll tell you one thing, mate.
Ebix.
I know he's definitely not a biker with hair that long. He'd fucking come off the bike.
Yeah, get caught up in the spokes. Ah.
Yeah, get caught up in the back wheel.
Hey, but guys, have you noticed that Michael Buffer, maybe this has been going for a while, but I didn't notice. Like, he only does the main events now, huh? He doesn't even announce the co-main events.
You know why, don't you? Because he charges about 15 grand.
Yeah, that's what I also thought. He might be charging a lot. Yeah,
he charges about 15 grand to do that. So I think the thing with Eddie Hearn, I think he's quite loyal. You know, he does keep. He likes to keep his. He don't like to just get his guys gone and replace them just like that. So, you know, I think with Buffer, because he always does the main event, I think he keeps David Diamante on. It's a lot cheaper as well. You don't want to be paying Buffer 15 grand an announcement, do you? And have you noticed he'll only say, "Let's get ready to rumble" in the main event. He won't do it in the undercards anyway. So what's the point?
Yeah, he's got it all figured out, man. It's all a big contract. I'm sure you look at. He's how many Let's Get Ready to Rumbles?
Well, how many people?
So
many people have fucking been sued for using that, mate. He's like on top when it comes to that. I mean, even the games, they got to pay him. He's multi-millionaire. He's made millions from doing what he does. But I know a few companies have been done for it, and I know a few announcers tried to do it, and I think they got shut down quickly. Now they like to say, "Let's get this party started" or something stupid.
Yeah,
like that. Or I mean, the guy at fucking, I mean, you know the IFL TV videos. You know, at the start when they're doing that advertisement of Daniel DeBar and Fury, that guy is terrible. You know, he goes Fury. That was god. I just want to top myself every time I hear the guy. Terrible. I mean, I think he sums up Frank Warren, just fucking second rate everything he does. Isn't it?
Second rate promoter or something.
It's two Bob, isn't he? Two Bob fucking Frank. That's what you call him. Bob Warren. Two Bob Warren.
God damn. Yeah, I watched a little thing about Michael Buffer too. Apparently, like, it was actually Bruce that like put him on big time. Like Bruce like convinced him, man, you really got to push it with this. This is before he came up with Ready to Rumble. So like, he was, you know, doing these little bum ass cards and trying to come up with lines and shit. None of them were working. Oh, yeah. And then he was like, then Bruce, you know, kind of pushed me to do it, and I pursued it, and now look.
Yeah, and apparently before Let's Get Ready to Rumble, he had let's fasten these seatbelts or something like. Well, I'm talking about
seatbelts.
Yeah.
Because what, Mike? I don't know. Just fasten them. Here we go.
Hey, but that guy Diamante, he knows.
Who was the one? Hey, who was the one that did? What fight did he? Andre Ward versus someone, and the actor that's with Mariah Carey. He was fucking terrible. Who is it? Oh, come on! You know the guy that's married to Mariah Carey.
Oh, Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon. He did one. He did an Andre Ward one.
No.
What? I don't even remember.
I think Stephen A. Smith did one as well. Fuck, that's dreadful as well.
Oh.
I'll take Stephen A. Smith over Nick Cannon.
At least we ain't got to put with John McDonald from the darts anymore. I mean, that guy, he used to ramble on so much. I mean, I just didn't want to watch boxing after he did. And then the fight hadn't even started. That was just him introducing it. I just had enough of boxing for the day. Rambling on and on and on. And then when he'd say champion of the world, he'd make world last about 30 seconds like he was fucking. What a wanker. He really was. I'm glad I don't listen to him no more. And like I said, Buffer's not the same. But anyway, we're not here to talk about fucking announcements.
Yeah, what are we talking about this shit?
Hey, it's boxing talk. It counts.
Yeah, well, I don't want to talk about Buffer's voice box. And I mean, I want to talk about Wilder and Joshua. Eddie Hearn's come out and said 50-50's winning to pay it. I think they just want the fight. Get the title. Pay Wilder what he wants. Get the title, and then they're in control. I think it's worth giving it. Joshua's got so much money, he can afford to give Wilder 50-50 now. You know what I mean?
Steve, what do you think about this comment? Dominic Brown says Wilder went from 60-40 to 50-50 in 1 year. Genius.
Well, not really a genius. I mean, I think one defeat by Joshua, a bad one, fucking probably helps that a little bit. Wilder's not done anything to convince. Wilder hasn't done anything to convince me that he's deserved 50-50. His pay-per-view numbers stunk. I mean, he fought some. I mean, an old man. I mean, this guy he puts my granddad to shame, and he's been dead since '98. Do you know what I mean? For fucking age. So, you know, I just don't think Wilder's done anything to convince me he's earned the 50-50. I think it's more down to the point that Joshua lost a fight. Joshua is making so much money now. I think Joshua wants to get out quickly. I think he wants to have a few more fights and get out. And he needs to make this fight. He needs to get that belt off Wilder. And I think, to be honest with you, what's the point of holding it back for another 10%? Just pay Wilder what he wants. Get the fight. If you're good enough, Joshua, you'll win. And in the rematch, you can tell him 70-30. Exactly. But right now, 50-50, get the fight done. Let's see who the best one is. And if Wilder wins, then you've got to give Wilder his credit. But if Wilder wins, I mean, Joshua's days and he won't see a title shot again because Wilder will run from the rematch. You can bet your life on that.
Stu, wait for what?
Fury is because he knows he lost.
Stu,
say again.
Sorry, but like, of course, what you're saying is correct. I mean, and on top of that, wait for what? What are they going to wait for another stumble, another loss out of nowhere? You know what I mean? That's the shit that can happen when you're marinating some fucking fight.
Like reacting to the world in the chats, Wilder don't deserve 50-50, but it's people like you is why we ain't getting these fights, because you're sitting there worried about Joshua's 10% extra in his pocket or whatever it is. The man's a multi-millionaire. Does it matter what this guy's fucking earning? No, we're boxing fans. You worry about what you're earning. How about that? Listen, we want the fight. We want the fucking fight. And if it means paying Wilder what he wants to get it done, I'm happy for him to do that. All right, last year, he didn't have a leg to stand on. He didn't. Joshua was the big man with all the belts, bringing in all the dough. Wilder had some little belt that he was given to, and he's been able to keep in his fucking closet because no one's got the balls to come, or no one's had the skills to come and take it off him, should we say. They're not even the balls, the skills. And, yeah, that's where I am with that. That's where I'm. Just pay the guy what he wants. And once you've got all them belts, you call all the shots. You run boxing.
By the way, Eddie Hearn said that he's willing to pay 50-50 not only to Wilder, but to Fury as well. He said the winner of the Fury-Wilder fight. So, I mean, we're talking about Wilder, but, hey, Fury could win that fight on February 22nd.
Oh, Fury. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Fury, mate. Fury won't take the fight unless he gets 50-50. Fury won't take that fight.
That's true.
But Tyson Fury will bring a lot in the UK to that fight. He'll bring a lot of revenue in.
Yeah.
That Tyson Fury will do 2 million, him and Wilder, without a shadow of a doubt. Even Joshua, will do 2 million without a shadow of a doubt. And Fury's going to bring a lot to that. Because even the Joshua fans that probably won't pay for the Ruiz fight will definitely pay for the Fury fight. So Fury deserves his crack. Just like Wilder does now. Let's just pay these guys what they fucking want and get the job done, Joshua. Because let's be real, he just made 70 million, so he's not short for cash at the moment, you know. And if he's only in it for a short period of time, which I believe he is, I don't think he's going to be like Evander Holyfield, do you? I just don't see it happening.
At 48, saying God told me I'm going to become a world champion again,
fighting Valuev and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, but you're Eddie Hearn. Who do you want AJ to fight, Wilder or Fury, based on how much revenue those fights would make? Who would you?
If I'm Eddie Hearn, I want the Wilder fight first, because I think when you've got them 4 belts, it's just a massive thing in boxing. You know, undisputed heavyweight champion, the first since I don't even think Lennox Lewis. Yeah, he was. Lennox Lewis was the last one. Then Tyson before that, I think. So, you know, we want to see it again. And I think it's a major achievement for Joshua if he can do that. And I think it makes sense for him to go after Wilder first, then him versus Fury for the undisputed heavyweight title at Wembley Stadium. I mean,
yeah, but Stu, you're assuming that Wilder's going to win. I don't understand.
So, what?
You're assuming that Wilder's going to win against Tyson Fury.
No, because I just said
you said against Wilder for a unification fight, and
Joshua beats Wilder first, then fight. Oh right, yeah, I get what you're saying, because Fury's fighting next. But yeah, but you didn't ask me that. You asked me which one I'd rather have.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, after Wilder and Fury fight. No, okay, this is my question. Sorry. All right. So you're Eddie Hearn. Who are you rooting for? Who are you rooting for? Wilder or Fury?
I think Eddie Hearn's probably rooting for Tyson Fury in that one.
Yeah.
Because I just think it's the Wilder thing's not a guarantee. It's gonna. this guy's making all excuses in the book to try and avoid this fight. I don't care what Nesta Gibbs or anyone else says, or fucking Shirley Winkle or Lou DiBella. None of them, right? None of them. I believe. I believe Wilder wants to fight, but I just don't think his team does. I think if he loses that belt, then they've just lost. They've got a lot of bargain tools they're losing, especially in America. Americans don't want to see no chump with no belt. If you want $6 million, you better show me a belt that you're fighting for. So that's my problem. I think, but with Fury, I think the fight's just so big, even worldwide. Let's be real. Even the Americans are tuning in to Joshua versus Fury. There's not an American on this show are listening now that will say they don't want to watch that. They'll all watch it and they'll all probably pay for it as well. So I don't think it would be paid for you. I'm not sure, but if it was, they'd pay for it and all. It's a massive fight. So that'd be where, if I was Eddie Hearn, that'd be where I'd want to go. I'd want Fury to win that and then just make a big fight, because Fury will have the belt then. We ain't got to worry about Wilder. Wilder can go back to fighting he can drag Ortiz up for a trilogy, can't he?
The trilogy.
That's where Wilder can go then. But I think once Fury's got that belt, I don't think Tyson Fury will duck Anthony Joshua or make it as hard as it was to make the fight with Wilder, because that's been difficult for the last few years.
All Boxing Talking News says Wilder could end up KOing both Fury and AJ. He's looking only for one punch and do nothing.
This is it. We know this. We know this. We're not fucking stupid. We know if Deontay Wilder lands a clean shot on either one of them guys, he's there in big trouble. But we've also seen Tyson Fury get up from the dead and take it to Wilder after that. So the bands come. This is not a guy that's killing people with one shot. They're getting up. They're just in a bad way when they do get up. Do you know what I mean? Even Ortiz got up, and that guy looked like he was having a stroke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I always, it's funny.
Listen,
go ahead.
Sorry, just one more thing, Revolution. You can take the floor. Dominic Brazil walked forward with his fucking chin in the air, with his hands down, square on. Deontay Wilder hit him with all the power he had, clean on the button. Yes, Brazil dropped like a sack of shit. But if I'm right, Dominic Brazil got up.
Yeah, he got up. He got up. He stumbled, and they called it, but he got up.
Yeah. So these guys, this is not like when. These are not Marquez punches. You know when Marquez landed one on Pacquiao, or when Pacquiao landed one on Hatton? Them sort of shots. They're not them sort of shots. They're powerful shots that they hurt you. Don't get me wrong. But these guys are getting up. So I think these fighters shouldn't let the power freak them out too much. Do you know what I mean? Because like I said, one day there's going to be a guy that comes along that holds that power. And I think Ruiz could hold a bomb off Wilder. I do. I think he could be hurt, but I think he could hold it.
Hey, there already has been somebody who stood up to all the shots from Wilder. And it's funny, I was reminded of him recently because I was texting somebody. They asked me a question, and I wanted to respond, duh, D-U-H, duh. And my phone auto-corrected it to Duapa. Because I was on Instagram fucking arguing with people. I was like, he didn't knock Duapa down. And my phone learned Duapa. Fucking great story, I know.
I can't believe Google recognizes that name. But by the way, Dominic Brown.
No, because I kept typing it in. It learned it learned it up from me.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Dominic Brown in the chat says, I don't know any American who's interested in a Fury versus Joshua fight. Everyone wants to see Wilder versus Fury or Joshua.
You're a dumb bastard then. You're a fucking dumb bastard. How about that? Sick of you fucking guys, man, coming on here telling us what we're thinking and what everyone else is thinking. Do you speak for the whole America? I'm telling you something now. There's more. I think there's more Fury fans in America than there is Wilder fans. Get out of here, man. Who's the main guy? Who's gone on to be a superstar in the WWE since that fight? I don't see Deontay Wilder giving DDTs and fucking body slams. Do you? So at the end of the day, you're talking absolute nonsense. You just want your little fucking lover boy Deontay to get his shot, and you know what I mean. You just disregard anyone else. I mean, let's forget about Fury already beating Wilder. Let's forget about Joshua and everything he's achieved. Them guys are, not worthy. Just give Deontay his shot. I mean, I can't be done with these.
And consider the following too: that the Americans have gotten to like Tyson Fury because he fought Deontay Wilder. Americans, if they weren't aware of Anthony Joshua, he lost to Ruiz, and he beat Ruiz, an American fighter. So he had his little saga there. That probably got AJ's name out too. So if it comes down to AJ and Fury, American boxing fans know who both these guys are. You know,
Listen,
even if they're casual.
Joshua, like the guy in the chat said, Joshua Wilder is the better fight out of the lot of them. But we're talking a choice now between Joshua fighting Fury or Wilder. You know, that's the discussion here. I mean, if you want to if you want to start triangle theories, then I think Joshua Wilder is the better fight, because Fury's just, he can be boring at the best of times, can't he? So yeah, but let's not pretend that Fury's not he's irrelevant in America, because there's a lot of people that want to see Fury versus Joshua in America. I can assure you that.
Absolutely.
Well, hey,
Butcher,
American.
Listen,
yeah.
Butcher, I'm charging my phone and still zapping. I'm going to close down all these pages and I'm going to come back. Yeah.
All right. By the way, D, I sent you a link, man. D Jefferson.
D. Where is he? Get him on here.
He says, I'm an American and I'm a Fury fan. I don't even like Wilder. See, I mean, of course, you can be British and not like AJ. I mean,
and I was kind of trying to talk more for like really casual American boxing fans. So if someone's going to say, oh, you know, they don't want to see Wilder, they don't want to see AJ Fury because, you know, these are two UK guys. These are two UK guys who were in the mix with two American guys this past year. So
yeah.
If you're a casual boxing fan, if you only care about Americans, you've heard about both of these guys. And if it comes down to all the belts on the line,
why not? Oh, you're gonna watch
it. Undisputed trumps nationalism at that point.
Nah, yeah, at that point, these Wilder fans wouldn't watch a fight. These American fans, they're like, I'm not interested in that fight.
No, only for Wilder.
It's a unification fight. That happens all the time, right? Ridiculous.
Hey, but fuck it, you know, give Wilder the 50-50. I think AJ has no choice. I think, you know, because he doesn't have that O anymore on his record. He took that one loss. You kind of got to give 10% more to Wilder at this point. I think.
Yeah.
To get
I don't mind. Yeah. Why not?
I mean, fight on paper, and you want to, you know, he's fighting for. You think he's fighting for legacy or money more at this point?
Money for sure. Wilder, he's fighting for money, man.
Oh, AJ. I'm saying AJ.
Oh, AJ. No, AJ is trying to get it, bro. He's trying to make a name for himself. Look, I got a newfound respect for AJ because I was a fan of neither of those guys, AJ or Wilder. I'm a Fury guy, but I got a newfound respect for AJ, especially after that Ruiz fight, because he's showing this dedication to the sport, to legacy, man. He doesn't have to chase money. He's getting paid more than all of them.
There it is.
You know what I mean? He don't have to chase money.
Yeah,
so for him to let go of another 10%, for him to let go of another 10% to get that legacy is worth it. That's
how do we know Wilder isn't also seeking legacy though?
Because he ain't trying. He's not trying, bro. He has not fought. Like, listen, if all of your fans, and I'm talking Deontay Wilder, if all of your fans, and we know because we hear them, say that he will crush this person, he will crush that person, he'll knock Dillian White out, why is it taking you 2 years to fight him? I mean, he's
in control, man.
In the top 5, bro. So how you chasing legacy if you're not fighting anyone in the top 5? You got to fight the best to be the best.
He's selling wolf tickets. That's what it is.
Yeah, clout chasing, bro. Clout chasing.
But he could sell wolf tickets for years and years. If he goes in the ring and loses, then it's all over. So he's probably just trying to prolong. Maybe he sees a little more vulnerability in AJ. So he might be actually trying to get the fight going more.
You know, that's a retarded plan, though, because he's, 33 years old? So he'll be long in the tooth before he sees a little decline in AJ. You know what I mean?
Exactly. He's time is starting to run out for him.
Yeah, he got all these injuries with his arm, rods in his hand and carrying on, bro. You don't have too much longer. You better do something. And then these morons that compare him and his 10-win streak to Ali, are you stupid? Like, who Ali fought for
that's ridiculous.
Like,
but he's fighting Tyson Fury.
Yeah, he fought Tyson Fury, but he didn't beat him. You have to beat the best to be the best. He didn't beat him.
Not even on paper. Not even on paper did he beat him.
But the rematch is happening And so,
man, my guy gonna take that WBC belt off his hand. That's why they made sure that they got a rematch clause in there, because they're pretty sure he's probably gonna lose this one, and they're gonna try to get another chance.
Well, that's another guaranteed payday then.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm not, I'm just going with Fury, bro. Historically and traditionally, the rematch favors the boxer, and it's no question who the boxer is.
Good point.
Right, true. That's a good point.
We just saw that recently.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess they're planning or hoping that Wilder, not he loses, but that if he loses, that he doesn't get knocked out. That at least he loses a 12-round decision, so then you can still sell a third fight.
Mm.
And now if Wilder gets fucking sparked,
It's done.
Trying
Wilder
to
done
sell a
if he
third
gets
fight.
sparked.
Well, you never know, man.
I'm just thinking, like, doesn't ring IQ? I don't know what these people are thinking, because doesn't ring IQ play a part in this? And when you think about ring IQ, that just it determines what you learn in a fight. Wilder ain't learning a damn thing because he ain't fighting nobody. So Fury's just going to get better and better and better once he fights him, because he has ring IQ.
What I keep hearing is that Wilder doesn't need any of that. He only needs to land that one punch.
Right. And who you hearing that from? A bunch of fucking casuals. That's who you're hearing it from. They don't know shit about this game, bro.
He's been landing it so far, though.
Hey, I've said this about Wilder because I don't disrespect fighters. I disrespect their fanboys, okay? So boxing first, boxing second. I don't disrespect fighters, and I've said this about Wilder. In this sport of boxing, you have boxers and then you have fighters. Some guys are just fighters. They get in there. Wilder has the ability, he can time that right hand. He's a fighter, bro. He is a fighter. Like, he's not a champion and knocking all of these guys out for no reason. This is the heavyweight division, right? So he's a fighter. He can get that right hand in, but that's all he's relying on. And that's the problem. And that's where the sweet science takes over, man. Why couldn't you stop Fury? They say all of this nonsense about Fury. Oh, he fought two bums. He came off the couch, 450 pounds. Listen, you guys got to understand something. That was a cherry pick. That was meant to be a cherry pick.
Yeah.
Wow, this guy's not going to beat me.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it was meant to be a cherry pick, but a true boxer showed you that it's not a cherry pick, bro. Not a cherry pick.
Dominic Brown's taking shots at you, D. Jefferson.
He said D. Jefferson has low IQ. Yeah, I feel you, bro. You know what? D. Jefferson also has D and JB's debate cage, so you can come over here and get that smoke. I'll put my email in the chat for you. You can email me anytime. Come debate me, and I'll send you packing.
Listen, you could travel anywhere in the world to the snowiest place where the Eskimos live, to the Brazilian jungle, to anywhere in Africa, to these fucking tribes in Africa, and you will not find a more stupid motherfucker than the Deontay Wilder fanboy. They are seen on YouTube, and that is some achievement alone, because if there's a retard about, YouTube will find them. And this is the thing, Deontay Wilder fans, what are they going to do when this guy gets beat? What are they going to do? Because they haven't invested in anyone else. It's not about boxing to these guys. It's about,
they're looking for the next guy they can support. And yeah, I know this.
Following another man. I got called an Anthony Joshua fanboy for years. Oh, look at this guy, man. He sucks off Joshua, loves Joshua. But when Joshua got his ass whooped, my life was still the same. I moved on, started talking about other fighters, started to back other fighters. This is not about just defending one man and going in one man's corner. No matter who Wilder fights, everyone else is a bum. Everyone else don't deserve to fight Deontay Wilder. They're not worthy. And this is the fucking intelligence we're dealing with. Like that D said in his comment a little while back. This guy is totally flawed, and he's a knockout waiting to happen. It's a matter of time before someone decent lands on his chin. He's been conning us all by fighting these slow, flat-footed bums with no will to win. Dominic Brazil was an absolute disgrace that night. Just walked square on, like it was like he was paid to get down. because he just didn't do anything. I mean, you just don't walk forward with your hands down with your chin in the air against Deontay Wilder. Anyone
No.
He did it. And like I said,
You know what else I say, Stu? I got this thing that I say about Wilder. I say that he's one knockout away from losing the fight, right? And when I say that, I don't, I kind of confuse people because I don't mean Wilder getting knocked out. All he has is a knockout. And if he doesn't get it, how many guys have been beating his ass? Areola was whooping him. Archer Spilker was whooping him. Yeah. So if he doesn't get that knockout, he loses. He's one knockout away from losing.
I think if we added up this title fights alone, because we're not going to mention the Audley Harrisons and all them other bums, title fights alone, I wouldn't be surprised if Deontay Wilder, if we added up all the rounds he'd fought, I wouldn't be surprised if he's lost more rounds than he's won, because I think he lost about 13 rounds to Luis Ortiz in 2 fights. I mean,
he has actually. Unbiased or Biased Boxing Talk did a video on that, and he actually has. He calculated. He took the time to calculate all the rounds he won versus all the rounds he's lost, and he's terribly under.
Yeah. But like I said, this guy
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's what his fans say.
Yeah, but this is the thing though with Wilder, right? He knows his limitations. He knows he can. The only thing he's got is that right hand. He knows he's got to be at the right distance to throw it as well. And usually they've got to be square on, too old to get out of the way, and right in front of him. And then he's going to look explosive when he's like. But if you've got a guy that's actually moving, Fury proved that. And Fury looked in horrible shape that night. Let's not pretend that was a twinkle feet Tyson Fury. The man looked a slob in there. And Wilder couldn't land a fucking shot on him. All right, he dropped him in the 12th, but that was down to Fury with his hands down, posing, and poor tactics from Ben Davison. So it's got anyone. That's what I'm saying. That Joshua I saw the other night. I've switched my sides. I think Joshua can beat that Deontay Wilder now. But before the one that fought Ruiz, I thought Joshua would have got slept very early. There's no way that Joshua that fought Ruiz, flat-footed, too overweight with muscle, slow, robotic, he would have got sparked clean out by Deontay Wilder. But this one I saw that come out like a young clay the other night. Yes, it was boring. But that footwork, I think, and you got to remember when Joshua's throwing it mid range and in the pocket, he's explosive, and Wilder's got no inside game whatsoever. That's where all the damage is going to be done. But if Joshua fights on the back foot, and does what he did against Ruiz, trying to hang around for 36 minutes, he's getting slept. So,
yeah, and I'm gonna add on to that, Stu. If you pay attention to the first Ortiz fight, Ortiz hurt Wilder. He hurt him. You could have even, a standing 8 count they could have given him, but they gave him time to recover. But when you look at that, Joshua clearly has the most power second to Wilder. So if he stumbles and hurts Wilder like that, he's also a better finisher than Ortiz. He knocks him out, bro. He knocks him slam out. And he was catching Ruiz. Ruiz has a hell of a chin. I do believe a better chin than Wilder. If Anthony Joshua catches Wilder with some of those punches he caught Ruiz with, moving and, laying that leather on him, he'll spark him and knock him out, bro. That's just my opinion.
I don't know, man. Like this whole Wilder talk, just getting tired, man. Tiring. It's, well, listen. At least we're getting Wilder against Fury, but like you said, there's a rematch clause, so we might get stuck with a third fight between these two guys, and Joshua's gonna be on the sideline. Now, listen, Joshua might fight Usyk before he even faces Wilder or Fury. So,
yeah,
that would be interesting too. What do you guys think about Usyk though? So far, I mean, we haven't seen much of him in the heavyweight division.
Usyk is a motherfucking wild card.
Yeah.
He's that big fucking question mark in the division. I like it. I like that he's around. He's here to spice things up. But at the same time as I'm saying this, I mean, he's a wild card, meaning he could go out and fucking lose against a guy like Derek Chisora, who knows how to use his size, maybe. I mean, I doubt it. I think Usyk is going to beat a lot of these guys, lower level guys. But yeah, it's still a question mark, and that makes it exciting.
He's putting on more weight, so I guess he realized what was his last opponent? I forgot his name.
Chaz Witherspoon.
Yeah, he was a little bit maybe too small. And so
I would like to see how he puts on the weight in comparison to like a Lomachenko, where now at like 135 you see Lomachenko like you can't put any more meat on that boy.
Listen,
it's as big as he's gonna get. I wonder how big Usyk can get.
I'm telling you now, right? I'm a big Lomachenko fan. I've got him in my top 3 pound for pound list. He sits at number 2 for me. I know he's a very popular fighter in this chat, but if he goes up to 140, he's getting beat and he's going to get knocked out.
Oh, no doubt, yeah.
Because them guys are fucking huge. Josh Taylor's a big 140 guy. Regis Prograis might not be big in height, but he's strong, real strong. And he throws very good straight punches. And that's what Lomachenko seems to struggle with when he's trying to get inside. He's giving away so much size. So he struggles to get inside Lomachenko. So, and when he's inside, he's devastating, by the way. But that's where he's getting caught. Pedraza was catching him, Linares, so on. Even Campbell catching him and he's trying to get inside. But them 140 guys, you've got Prograis who's good with straight punches. You've got Ramirez who's a very big puncher. You know, there's just some big guys in that division. I mean, even Baranchik would be I mean, could you imagine little Lomachenko fighting that Russian tank? No, he's from
Belarus.
Belarusian fucking tank.
No.
I mean,
wasn't Baranchik banging Anastasia?
Huh?
Wasn't Baranchik banging Anastasia Lomachenko?
Oh, yeah, who cares, man?
Anastasia?
I fucking care.
Or something.
I'm gonna be Dick Brothers with him one day, man.
Ramirez is a dog, bro.
Wait. Stu's got to come back. I want to hear what Stu says. Go ahead.
You just worry about who you're banging, not anyone else. That's the best way to go about business.
Hey, who I'm banging, got to worry about who I'm banging too.
That's it. I bet she don't look like Lomachenko's sister. Like.
Yeah. Come on. It's true.
Go ahead, Daddy.
I was just saying Ramirez.
Too.
He's a dog, man. Like the guy is aggressive, and but we got to keep in mind too. I think a lot of these fans they just want to see Loma lose, and they're asking a little too much of him. This guy is probably a natural 126, 130 pounder, so he's already up in weight. To ask him to step up another class, you're just asking too much of him.
Which is what scares me against Lopez.
Totally agree.
I'm afraid. I like Loma a lot. I would hate to see Lopez be the one to knock him out.
You just might. I'm a Lopez fan big time, and I called that Kami fight. I told everybody he was going to spark Kami.
Yeah, but I've seen Lomachenko in there with big punches like Teofimo before, and he's made them quit, and he's took their soul. I mean, Sosa was a big puncher, and Walters. Rigondeaux apparently breaks everyone's jaws the minute he lands. I mean, well, that was according to his fans.
I think combined with the size too, because we've said, Lopez.
Teofimo Lopez doesn't show. I mean, the punches that you've got to throw to trouble Lomachenko, he doesn't throw them shots. He's quite wide with the shot. He doesn't have that Linares technique and the crispness and the speed. I mean, look how Linares and Petraza throw a shot. Then go and look how Teofimo Lopez throws one. They're different sort of shots. Teofimo hits as hard as them. Don't get me wrong. But they're just different kind of shots. And I think Lomachenko, they're more telegraphed Teofimo shots. I think he's going to get out of the way of them ones. But where the straight punches from Linares, that's why he was getting trouble by Linares. Because just crisp, speedy, straight punches. And that is what you got to do to beat Lomachenko.
I think that maybe just a tad bit underestimation on Teofimo. See, here's the thing. Yeah, I get you with Linares and Rigondeaux and those guys, but just like Revolution said, man, Teofimo's a bigger guy, but man, their punching power don't match up to his. See, Teofimo has guys on the canvas spasm, eyes rolled back behind their head. Like that's that real knockout power. And what you've noticed at 135 with Lomachenko. Now, granted, I picked Lomachenko to beat my guy because I think he's a little green. But what you have noticed about Lomachenko at 135 is he's getting touched up, man. Pedraza touched him up pretty good. And you're not going to get touched up by Teofimo. Richard Coleman had a chin there, Stu, a good chin. And you seen what he did to him. So Loma touched up by the guy. It's like
I've seen Comey hurt a few times. I don't think Comey is too good around the whiskies, to be honest with you. I mean, and let's be real, the fight before that, Teofimo Lopez looked horrible. So, you know, we need to slow down a little bit. He's had one good performance. Comey seems that sort of guy that looks dangerous until you punch him on the chin, and he's one of them. So that's how I see it. I mean, Lopez, I've been holding back on Teofimo Lopez, not because I don't see talent, because I do. But I've seen it so many times where we've hyped these young kids up, and they've been, they've been exposed. And at least when I'm fucking holding back a little bit, I can't, you know, no one can turn around and say to me, "Oh, you made yourself look a fool. Look at you hyping up that guy now. Look at him." That's why I always hold back on the youngsters, because I've seen it so many times. They're tipped to do great things. They go in there, they have a bad night, and they're never the same after that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, I see the scout, and then you just mentioned it about the Nakatani fight. You know, I put a video up talking about the Japanese fighters, and not just Nakatani. You know, Takashi Inui, Monster Inui, a lot of these Japanese fighters are not getting the credit that they deserve. Nakatani is actually a good fighter, and he's tall. He's like 6 foot tall. So, you know, the length that, you know, and another thing about Nakatani is he had pop, bro. Like, he was stopping guys. Richard Coleman had popping in that first round. He caught Teofimo clean. So, you know, Teofimo has a pretty decent chin as well. And Lomo's not much.
I don't think Loma.
He breaks you down.
I don't think Loma can stop Teofimo. I don't see that. I just see him. I think you could bamboozle him, and I think with a young fighter, it's not a good thing being bamboozled like Nicholas Walters. Where's Nicholas Walters now? I mean, not been seen. Last seen on a Brazilian beach somewhere. I mean, where is he? I mean, it's the same with Rigondeaux. Never the same guy after that. Sosa might as well retire. The beating he took that night. So it's just, that's what he does to fight. So when you get a young guy in there who's never had that before, who's used to just punching people and falling over, when you're in there with a player with them sort of skills, I think you can. That's why I don't want Devin Haney to fight. I don't want Haney to go through that right now. I want Haney to fight Luke Campbell. I know someone in the chat saying, "Or Luke Campbell touched up Loma," like Luke Campbell's a bum or something. Luke Campbell is an Olympic gold medalist. He knows how to box. Straight punches. I told you, anyone with world-class straight punches is going to treble Lomachenko. That's why he did. So let's not pretend. Put Teofimo in there with Campbell. That'd be a good fight. I'll pick Teofimo to win it, but still, it's not an easy fight, Luke Campbell, for anybody. Yeah,
I like Cool Hand Luke, man. I like Luke. And like I said, bro, I started off saying that I picked Loma over my guy because he's green still. You know, kid's 22. You know, he needs a little more. He just talked himself into this situation, and now he's gonna have to, you know, try to cash that check his ass wrote. But I don't know, man. I gotta go with Lomachenko. Just because the dude's a magician in that ring. You can't count him out. When you think he's going to lose, he gets in there and he shows you something totally different. And the angles he comes with, his footwork, the way he moves around that ring, Teofimo's seen nothing like that, man. Nothing like that.
Yeah, another thing with Lomachenko, we always talk about he takes people's souls. I don't know if I heard it on the BDA or I heard it on another podcast. I'm trying to think, but the guy brought up how Loma talks to you in there. He's a shit talker once he gets in the ring. Outside, he doesn't say much, but you see him talking shit. You saw, like, okay, Jason Sosa fight, did a little matador thing, you know. He's like, all right, come at me. Against the Mariaga, he went into the corner and was like, all right, come on, I'll be right here, right in the corner. You come try to get me now. And just, he taunts people. You know, he's an asshole. And it looked like
he's not stubborn enough
to get frustrated easily.
He's not stubborn enough to realise that he sticks to something when it's not working. Like I said, matrix skills, but there's always a style that is just horrible for you, and you struggle with it. And he's come across that a couple of times. So what's he do? He takes it into the pocket and starts throwing shots uppercuts to the body and hooks to the body and roughing these guys up, and they fall to pieces. This is the sign of a world-class fighter. When he keeps getting called the Matrix, he can get caught up in the hype and believe that he has to win fights on the back foot, looking silky. But no, when it's not working, he goes into mid-range, into the pocket, and he starts throwing bombs, and these guys fall to pieces. And that's what I love about him. You know, just mixes it up, and he's going to be a very hard man.
For sure, man. I mean, 396-1 amateur fights. That's a lot of damn experience, bro. You've seen a lot of different fighters. You've seen a lot of different techniques. and he only lost one of those. One, I mean, come on. Like, that guy is amazing. I detest hearing the Lomachenko hate around the YouTube community. And it's mostly our American fans because they just don't know shit about boxing. I think this country has the most casual boxing fans by far out of any country because...
No, I think it is, D. Do you know what I think it is? I think a lot of it's ignorance. I don't believe they're as stupid as they make themselves out to be, sort of thing. I think they've just been brought up. All Americans have been brought up to believe that America's the best at everything. It's the American way or no other way. No one else can fight but the Americans. If you're a black man, then you're not from America. Then you're not a black man. It's only black men in America can be black. I mean, I think the system that's brought them up to believe they're the best at everything. And I was always taught as a kid, you know, the Americans always think they're the best at everything. That's what the narrative was around. I actually get on with Americans. I think they're all right, but the narrative is that they think they're the best at everything, and they're a bit ignorant like that. So they don't see, they don't like to give credit to anyone else. It's like a funny story I got to tell you because this basically sums it up. The Americans were designing this stainless steel drill. It's like, say, 100 times smaller than a strand of hair that could drill through any steel. Engineering bit of genius. So they sold it all over the world, to send it all over the world to show these countries what they've made, and if you wanted any orders. And they've advertised it as the smallest drill piece in the world, the thinnest drill piece in the world. Well, they sent it all over the world. They sent it to Germany, where the Germans sent it back with a hole drilled through the middle. They'd already had one a lot smaller, but the Americans, they thought they created this piece of genius engineering. They sent it to the Germans. The Germans drilled a hole through it. So this is basically a story that sums it up. So, you know, there's always someone out there that can perform as good as you, no matter where you're from. So I think that's where the Americans need to start learning that. Because
well,
fuck the Germans, man. Fuck.
I tell you what, man, I will tell you this. It's a lot of Americans over here with that attitude. They lack the initiative to research, to pick up a book and read. So I can't even argue with that. I wouldn't say all Americans because
no, I mean, I'm not talking about all Americans. I'm just
remiss to say I'm in that category.
With a lot of them, it's like the Truman Show. That their lives are like the Truman Show. That, you know, it's there is no other place outside the US. If they tried to go in the sea, there'd be a wall stopping them from swimming further, and you know. And every time they tried to leave by road, a storm would stop them or so. Do you know what I mean? It's just, that's how they see life. There is an actual world out there. And believe it or not, there's people all over the world that can box, that can fight. And I think because boxing's a worldwide sport now, I think that they're finding it hard because they were brought up with Americans being the best, dominating. And they were the best at one time. Let's be real. Their fighters were superb. Do you know what I mean? They were the best. But now there's people from all over the world competing and beating these Americans at times, and I don't think they can stomach it. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I mean, I do boxing, MMA, and basketball on my channel, and it's the same thing in the basketball community because the international players are taking the NBA by storm, and a lot of these people just don't want to accept that these guys are good. This is not the 90s where you had Jordan and all of them much better than everybody around the world. No, these guys are good.
If I remember right, didn't the American basketball team lose a gold medalist to Lithuania?
In the World Games, I was doing commentary for that. They lost, and they lost horribly.
Yeah, was it Lithuania or somewhere like that?
It was France.
They lost to France. I know, because I can remember for a gold medal in Olympics years ago, they lost. I mean, they had all the big names as well, and they lost to some former Soviet team. I can't remember because I'm not a basketball fan. Right. It was a big shock at the time. So.
And then LeBron James and Carmelo and all of those guys that were supposed to be the next quote-unquote dream team, they lost. So, you know, the guys around the world in America are getting better. You know, Michael Jordan and those guys embarrassed them. And when they got embarrassed like that, they didn't want to get embarrassed again. So they stepped their game up. And now they're
think what it is, I think with America, because, I mean, let's be real, the Americans make basketball look ridiculously easy. I think it's an individual game now. It's all about stats in America. If you go to the old Soviets, they've been bred from a young age all about team. It's all about the team and teamwork. And I think if you look at them, the way they play, it's just all about systems and teamwork. Where you go and watch the the American basketball team. It's all about individuals trying to beat each other's stats. I mean, let's be real, the Americans, I mean, especially the African Americans, I mean, they make that game look ridiculously easy, and they're very good at what they do. So it's fun to watch, but they're not team players.
No, they're trying to get these contracts, Stu. That's what it's about. They're trying to build their stats up so they can get these endorsements, and the dedication, the level of dedication is just lost. It's like that in boxing too. I mean, these guys, look at the guys at the PBC. They're all about chasing that money. They're not about their craft. They're not about legacy. And it's just viral in America. Like, everybody's just chasing the dollar. There's no more dedication to the sports they're involved in.
Yo, is it true? Is it true? I heard. I'm sorry. Is it true what Jamal Charlo said to Chris Eubank? He said, "If you keep talking shit about me, calling me names, I won't fucking sign a contract and fight you."
I don't know, man.
I think Del Boy. I think I heard Del Boy say that on Thunderdome last night.
Michael Starr, what on earth are you talking about? The USA, Team USA have never lost.
Oh, here we go.
I was going to say that too, Stu.
I'm a basketball fan, and I've seen them lose.
Yeah.
He's just messing with you, Stu. I was going to say the same thing.
Controversial, be annoying or something. You know, you've seen. Mind you, you might have been at the time you was booking jihadi stock, weren't you? You was probably in the mosque at the time when that happened. But
this who is this Dominique Brown, bro? Like, Dominique Brown says D. Jefferson showing his low IQ again. NBA has changed its rules to help international players thrive. Listen here, you idiot. You can't debate me in any sport.
What rule change? What rule change?
No, let me get him right quick, Pete. Let me tell you something, moron. Do you see James Harden and how easy it is for him to score? He's American, fool. You understand? These 60 points he's putting up, that is because of the rule change. So a lot of Americans are thriving off the same rule change. And what makes you an idiot even more is if they change the rules so that you can score easier, it benefits everyone, dummy. You can't, man, like, just stop putting in the chat. Just don't put it in.
I'm going to be honest, right? I used to watch basketball most nights. It'd be on like 2 or 3 times a week in the UK, quite late at night. And I've always got to bed late. Even when I got to go for work, I've always get in bed and I'd chill and watch the basketball. But this is when, like, the Bulls had Rodman and Pippen and Jordan, and then there was like Magic Johnson and people like that around. And that's when basketball was at its best for me. I just can't get into LeBron James. I just don't like the man. Very talented guy. I just don't like the man. He's not a role model for anybody. He's a very selfish man. And he's let me tell you that he's a puppet. He's a puppet for the elite. The way he's always getting involved with politics and that, like, doing as he's told. He talks about slavery, but he's probably the richest slave on the planet. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I don't know where these guys get their ideas from, but I don't do that sport for nothing, Dominique. Like I said, you got my email. Hit me up in the email. I'll debate you on basketball, football, MMA, boxing. I'm a sports fanatic.
Dominic, show your balls and come on now. We're here now. Send Dominic a link, somebody, and let's see what he's got to say. This is what I'm saying. This is the BDA here. You have a chance to come at us on air and tell us how you feel about us. This isn't, you don't have to hide. We let anyone on. We're not these people that don't let anyone on. You've got to be one of us, or you're not coming on, or you're getting blocked in the chat. No, we let anyone come on here and mostly say what they like. There's got to be limits. We don't condone racism and stuff like that, or people just being trolls.
Stu, we call these guys like him trolls. That's all he want to do is troll the chat. He's too dumb to get up here with us. He knows better. He's a troll.
Well, he won't come on then because trolls have got no balls.
Yeah, right. He won't. And it's easy work, man. Any one of us on this panel, right, will just absolutely destroy him because we actually know boxing.
Shit, even me, I've come a long way the past year.
Yeah. The thing is, though, it's not just knowing boxing; it's being able to get your opinion across in a sort of way that's people are going to listen, and you're not putting them to sleep. Because there's a lot of people out there that know boxing, but then when they try and talk on video, they freeze, and it becomes a horror show. So it's you've got to. People don't realise it's not an easy thing to do, especially when you've got hundreds of people listening, and thousands listen to your show. You know, one mistake and you're getting pointed out for it. You get anything wrong, these fucking guys are like hawks, mate. They wait for you to mess up and they're in the chat putting you right. So it's not an easy thing to do, and that's why a lot of these guys there's a lot of know-it-alls in our chat, but a lot of them don't come on.
Yeah. Even that's easy to me because I have something called integrity. So if I'm wrong, I say, you know what, I'm wrong about that. Okay, let's move on. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't know everything. You know what I mean? Just say you're wrong and move on.
There's people on here that know far more than I do. It's just that I watch a fight, I analyze it, and I give my opinion. That's all I do, or I tell you what I do know. And it's enough. It's enough sometimes. But like I said, there's people like come on here that are boxing experts. I love the sport, but I just don't love it that much where I'm going to spend hours of my life watching archives and stuff and reading history books. It's just not for me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 1-2 Kid is in the chat. He says, "I will bait you, D, for the love of sports." 1-2 Kid is my man. He just messing around. Yeah, I know you would debate me.
We do debates here, D. We do debates here, so you can always do it live on here. Butcho will be the moderator, and you can obviously stream it to your show as well, to your channel as well. So this is where we do our debates, and it should be. Anyone wants to challenge? There you go, guys. Anyone wants to challenge D to a challenge on the BDA show? Send your details. Butcher will get back to you, and we'll do a show. And you got to come with it because D's got his arsenal there, man. He's going in the cabinets, and there's bazookas and all sorts in there. You don't be coming with a water pistol. You don't be coming
Anybody and everybody that knows me, no, I don't duck. No smoke. And I've debated plenty of people, so bring it. Bring it. Send me an email. Send Bucho an email. I'll debate anyone on any time.
We've got some brave warriors on here. We do have some brave warriors that will debate anyone, anytime, anywhere. They don't mind being beat. It's a bit, you know, it's not about being beat. It's about fighting the right people, isn't it? So.
Hey, I would like to have. I'm sorry. I got a frog in my throat. I haven't spoken in a second. Okay, yeah. I would like to see like a little, not a debate league, but like, you know, a couple of like Stu versus somebody on like an old school topic, you know, as opposed to like current events. Like
what?
But we were gonna do one with with the Meldrick Taylor stoppage. We were gonna have two people go on the Meldrick Taylor stoppage. You could do just a lot of different stoppages and shit, bad decisions. Here's a good topic. Could Ike Abuchi have beaten Lennox Lewis if he didn't get arrested?
I want to debate someone on Lennox Lewis because Lennox Lewis for me is the greatest heavyweight of all time, and I get a lot of stick for saying that. And the people want to keep coming up with these names that are better than him, and I want to debate them. Whoever wants it, Lennox Lewis versus whoever your favorite fighter is. But send the details to Butcho. I'm ready. I'm ready now, mate. I've been in camp for months.
All right. You know what? Because Ube Abuchi, I love him. I love.
It's hard. Sorry, Revolution. It's hard to debunk what I'm going to say about Lennox Lewis because facts speak for themselves. If I was around, you got to remember, I was around during that time, so I don't need to go to YouTube.
No, yeah, you lived it.
I remember. Hey, mate, I remember going to London to watch Tottenham Hotspur v Chelsea, and there was posters everywhere. Bruno Lewis all over. Massive fight. I remember when Lennox Lewis came over as a Canadian that decided to fight for Britain. He started carrying the flag. No one really took to him. No one knew who he was. I followed him start when he had that fucking trainer Beppe something. Beppe Canero, something his name is. Terrible, absolute terrible. But I remember. So you're gonna have to come with some good stuff to beat me on that one. You really are, because I've got all stored in the archives ready for someone. No one really took to him.
All right, we'll see. But I don't know. We'll talk just styles, you know.
Get Johnny Boy. He doesn't like Lennox Lewis.
Stu, you ever debated Mark Unrivaled?
Yeah, but I don't think Unrivaled can really. I don't think with Lennox Lewis, I don't think he's got too much of a problem when he's saying that. If I was to debate Mark, it'd have to be something that I agreed with and he didn't, or vice versa. Do you get me?
Right.
There's no point having a debate if we're going to sit there and both agree with each other all fucking night. Do you know what I mean?
Right. We could do teams.
I don't think Mark's got Lennox Lewis number one, but I think he's still gotten quite high. So I want someone that did like a Johnny boy, say, that doesn't rate Lennox Lewis at all. I'm not saying Johnny himself, but someone like that who just doesn't rate and thinks that, you know, and it's got people like Riddick Bowe ahead of him. I mean, I don't know where they come with that fucking logic, but there's people out there that have. So, you know, them sort of people. I'm ready for them.
We can make like teams. We could do like Team Lewis and Team not Lewis. The subject would be like, is Lennox Lewis the best of all time? And it'd be like Stu and maybe like Mark. And then like, you'd be like, all right, Exhibit B, Johnny. Make it. Exhibit C. And I'd come up and I'd like make the fucking Ibeabuchi case. He could not have been the man just was a psycho.
And in the chat, hang on a sec, James Doherty said Stu used to watch a lot of World Sports with Dickie Davis. Yeah, fucking Dickie Davis. That's a name that I know that name for a long time. I remember Dickie Davis. He used to do the football as well. But yeah, of course I did used to watch it. I used to go to the boxing magazines that were from the UK as well. I had loads of old school magazines. They're in the garage somewhere from the fucking 70s. So yeah, I used to always watch the boxing shows. Like I said, Nigel Benn. I went to watch Nigel Benn fight when his name was. It weren't the Dark Destroyer. His name was Big Ben. Nigel Big Ben. He called himself, and he used to come out with army shorts. He'd just come out of the army, and he was a killer. But this was before he become a world-class fighter sort of thing. But I went to see him fight a guy called Gypsy Carmen, and I remember it clearly because Gypsy Carmen obviously was a fat gypsy, and his shorts were too big for him. So every time he threw a shot, his shorts kept falling down. I mean, it was an absolute farce. I remember it, right? And Nigel Benn ended up putting us all out of our misery and landed one on the button. And I think he was asleep for about 10 minutes. But back then, there was no fucking ambulance. So they had the crowd carrying him into a fucking gypsy van. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Nigel Benn was a hard dude, man.
I mean, that guy just punched like a mule. His boxing skills were very limited, to be honest with you. I mean, even his trainer, Kevin Sanders, said he couldn't throw a jab for shit. But when he landed that right hand, mate, all sorts of things happened.
Yeah. Hey, he can box better than Wilder, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh, sure. I mean, Deontay Wilder's probably one of the worst boxers I've ever seen. That's held a world title. I'm not saying he's the worst fighter, because he's definitely not that, but he's the worst boxer I've seen. I mean, that left hook he throws, that's not a left hook, it's a swinging clothesline.
Nah.
That is a clothesline. You cannot call that a hook. I mean, he's mastered the art of throwing that right hand, but thank God he has, because he would be terrible if he didn't. Do you know what I mean? So
that's all he has. That's all he has. I don't care what anybody says. That's all he has. It's an eliminator, and he finds a way to get it in there. But that's his shot. If he doesn't land that shot, he's done.
Damn, I know I need a late pass for this one, but you were talking about Nigel Benn. He was gonna fucking fight Saki Obika, right? I just looked that up. I realized that was called off. I know that was like a couple months ago, it seems.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I'm
He got
glad-
his shoulder
I'm glad he
injury and
didn't,
canceled it.
I'm glad he didn't. I don't want to see him come back, man.
Oh God, no, of course
How
not.
old is he?
55.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, it's getting to the stage where it's a bit like Roy Jones, where you're just begging Roy not to get back in the ring again, and we're just going to get like that with Ortiz soon.
The knockout tour.
I mean, let's be real. That knockout. I mean, fuck me. There's going to be a few shades on his brain after that one. Let's just say that.
I don't want to see 50-year-old guys in the ring.
Old men should be taking shots like that. Old men should not be taking shots like that.
No, I don't want to see 50-year-old guys in the ring. Also, they had this thing where I think it was Riddick Bowe and Holyfield coming back to do a fight. Like, I don't want to see that, man. I don't want to see these two. I don't want to see two old guys in the ring trying to slug it out. Like, not even in an exhibition match, man. I don't want to see that.
Not even just sparring, just, like amateur points.
No, it should be illegal.
Yeah, I don't even want to see it, man. We got guys that's in their prime, like Stantolin and Patrick Day and Maxim Dadashev getting killed in the ring. Like, I don't want to see these old guys.
Right. Well, hear me out. Hypothetically, we know Riddick Bowe and Tyson are going to have a match, and they're going to throw at 5%. Now, if we know, it's like, if we can narrow it down, we know these guys are just tapping each other. You wouldn't want to see that. If we
Mike Tyson knocked
guarantee
Bowe out
no one's
right
going to
now.
get hurt. If you
Right.
guarantee no one's going to get hurt.
somebody's going. If you could guarantee nobody's going to get hurt, maybe. But at this point, Mike Tyson knocks Riddick Bowe out.
No, yeah, obviously, I know. I'm not doing actual matchmaking. I'm just.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm just saying, like a little seniors exhibition. Like, hey, guys. Like example, like I like hockey, and I went to like a little game. It was like a bunch of old Boston Bruin guys versus a bunch of old like Hartford Whalers guys, and the game went to a 3-3 tie. Like you knew it was planned out. Like they weren't actually playing; they were just on the ice passing around, and it was cool to see the old guys go.
I think that's cool. I think that is cool when you playing a game. Combat sports ain't a game, bro. Combat sports is not a game. Bro.
We're talking about a sport that can kill you with one punch. This is not. This is not where old men are getting their fucking gloves on and doing the old exhibition style. You know when fucking when Archie Moore and all them used to get dragged out of fucking retirement to do exhibitions and flop around with some kangaroo or a clown or some. No, this is real shit, man. And old men taking punches to the head.
Yeah.
Of course not.
You got to remember, the problem is they're seeing the shots but can't get out of the way of them. When you can't get out of the way of a shot, when you're seeing it, it's not if you don't see it, it happens. You just got caught with a big shot that you didn't see. But if you're seeing them and still can't get out of the way of them, that tells me that's a recipe for disaster. That's what, even when George Foreman come back and fought Michael Moorer, I was sort of cringing in the ring seeing that old flabby old man in there. It shouldn't have happened, if anything. I know he proved me wrong, but Foreman should have been in there.
Yeah, and he took a lot of shots. You know what? I enjoy Revolution. I enjoy during All-Star Weekend to watch the seniors game. Like, I enjoy watching that. But to see someone fight, nah. SSB asked me, he said, D, what you think of Floyd coming back? Let me tell you something, man. To hell with Floyd Mayweather. I don't really think much of it. I don't care. He's probably coming back to fight, I think, Khabib Magmadov or whatever, the UFC fighter, which is it's a show, man. It's a show. And God forbid that Khabib goes and does what Conor did 3 weeks before the fight, get a daggone boxing, get sanctioned by boxing, and then Floyd puts another win on his record for beating up Khabib. Like, I don't want to see that, man, because you're crossing the sports. It's different disciplines. The sweet science is way different from a striker in MMA. Floyd beats him all day.
Khabib's boxing is worse than Conor's.
Yeah, it is. It's just ridiculous. I don't want to see that fight. Only thing I wanted to see Floyd come back and do is the deal that they jerked Manny Pacquiao on, okay? Because they signed him so that he could take a fight or two fight and fight Floyd. But they clearly jerked him out of that. So if Floyd's not coming back to do that, to hell with Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd wants to do 4 million buys. He has to do one thing. Fight Khabib in an MMA cage and let it be all the rules, because people will pay for Floyd to get his face fucking body slammed into the canvas.
Yeah.
And choked out. I mean, I'd pay $100 for that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but you know what I read, Stu, that they were thinking about having it in an MMA cage, but check it out, stand up only. Like, what the hell? You might as well get in a boxing ring if it's going to be stand up only, because you can guarantee if it's a stand up only fight, Floyd's going to outrule kicks, he's going to outrule elbows, he's going to outrule knees. So
why did he do that? Why did he do that with Conor McGregor? Why did he do that with Conor McGregor? Because he knew the Muay Thai kicks were coming and the knees and all that. He didn't want any of them. So all of a sudden he wants to do it with Khabib, a guy that's a wrestler. Let's be real. When was the last time Khabib did a spinning back kick on someone's fucking nose? Never. He doesn't. He does leg kicks, and they basically keep rangefinders, don't they, sort of thing, and to keep the guy off him, just kicks. But MMA guys just kick now and again anyway, don't they? But there's no method behind his work with them kicks, so he's not bringing anything down. And mind you, I think if an MMA guy kicks you on the fucking leg, it's going to hurt. So, like I said, Floyd knows that. That's not going to be allowed. I mean, if it comes to boxing, Khabib will get pieced up in a bad way. I'm telling you that now. He can't box.
And Floyd has no way of. We know that Floyd's a defensive boxer, but he has no way of defending that. See, with Muay Thai and kickboxing, it's a different stance. They hold their heads a little higher. Floyd's not accustomed to that. So there's no way he allows kicks. See, I do MMA too. Those kicks add up. Those kicks add up. They'll take his legs from under him, and he doesn't have to get hit to the body to get his legs taken from under him.
And I think the stance is one of the reasons why MMA fighters they struggled with the boxing, because the stance with an MMA stance you have to have your legs a bit wider, don't you? For the takedown.
You do, and you have to also be equipped for people changing levels on you and shooting for the takedown. So they have to have a different stance. It's totally different discipline.
And when you're in that stance, it's hard to plant your feet and get the full whack behind your shot. So
exactly, can't transition weight the same. So it's totally different.
Hey guys, would Khabib against Floyd even sell after what we saw in that? It doesn't make sense.
That'd sell massive, mate. It's not just in America; it's all around the world. That would.
Are you talking about a boxing match? Are you talking about fighting the cage?
Hey, the Muslims would jump on that like fucking.
Since when have the Muslims paid? Like, what are you talking? Like, listen.
What do you mean?
What? You're gonna have this fight in Saudi Arabia or some shit?
Yes, Saudi Arabia. They'll jump on that.
They would sell that fight, Bucho, because listen, I didn't think that the Conor McGregor, and when you get these cross promotions like that, you got these UFC fans, and it becomes more than just about a match. It becomes which one of our guys win. So just the suspense in that is going to sell. Even if, like, who the fuck really thought that Conor McGregor was going to beat Floyd Mayweather? But look how much it sold, bro.
You want to know the difference? Why wouldn't sell this time around? Because we already saw what happened the first time we saw these two merge.
Listen, I was going to let Floyd get away with that again. Floyd, if he wants to sell, like I said, it's going to have to be no holds barred in the
not happening, Stu. What do you think this shit?
Someone's allowed to fucking drop him on his head.
That's not going to happen. You know it. I know, of course, but it's not going to happen. So we're talking about another boxing fight inside a ring.
Yeah.
That's not going to sell. Do you guys agree with me?
No, it's not going to sell in the West. It's going to sell massive all over the Russia, Eastern Europe, the Arab world, the Muslim world, Islamic world will fucking jump on that like a. I mean, they're going to be on that.
McGregor had a stand-up style, a striker, right?
It still do two. It will still do
Khabib's
2
a
million
fucking wrestler.
That still do 2 million
stupid, man.
People that'll do 2 million, Butcher. I'm telling you now.
Hey guys, wow. I just got a DM, right? Check it out. Somebody just hit me in the DM. Freaking Chavez Jr. missing weight again. I just got that DM. Like, come on, bro. That's why Jacob's gonna beat him.
The fucking Pop-Tart
That's what
kid.
Danny Jacobs gets for fucking fighting Chavez. He's got no business. Chavez doesn't deserve it. He's not worthy.
That's unbelievable, man. These boxers are so undisciplined. It's just that doesn't make any sense, bro. Make the damn weight, bro.
Ayo, but listen up, man. With Floyd Mayweather and the whole MMA thing, he's just got to go in the cage and do it raw, 110%, same rules. Because you know who did it? James Toney. And if James Toney did it, fuck you, Floyd. Get in there, step up.
Yeah, but fucking James Toney managed to. He hung on a bit when he got fucking taken down. He was like, he was getting his ass beat. He hung on for a bit. Khabib, can you imagine what Khabib would do to Floyd if he got hold of him?
Yeah, it's true.
It's over with, man.
It's gonna be the same shit.
Let's be real. Floyd's an old man as well, and I don't want to see Floyd getting his fucking head caved in on the fucking canvas. Do you know what I mean? So
I was gonna bring that up. I looked at his age. He's 42. I don't know if that counts as that's not senior citizen yet. That's still fighting age, maybe. 55, definitely not. 42.
In sports years. When you're talking about athletics and sports, that's an old man, 42.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, fuck it, dude. James Toney did it. I would like to see Floyd. If he's gonna do it, don't go against Khabib. Go against, I don't know. Give me somebody who's like a C level. A C level kind of past his prime guy.
CM Punk. That guy.
CM Punk.
Yeah, I don't think even a C-level MMA, a mixed martial artist, Floyd can see him, bro. It's just too much that he has to defend from, and he doesn't have the experience to do it. Like, I don't really care who you pick in the UFC. The problem is this. It's just like one of us going to fight a C-level boxer in the ring. We're going to get our ass kicked because they're still boxers, bro. You understand? Like, so even if it's C-level in the MMA, they made the MMA. they had the ability to get a contract signed. So these guys can still fight. They might not be able to beat the best guys, but they can still fight, and they'll beat the hell out of Floyd.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah,
So,
they'll
at
just
that
take him
point,
down
then go
anyway.
for the name value and fucking put him in there against Khabib to get the fucking buys. That's what it boils down to then.
Yep.
BJ,
BJ
Pence. No, I don't care how. He's finished and shit, but no.
BJ Penn would fucking demolish Floyd, even though he's old and finished. As far as MMA, BJ Penn is damn near double jointed. Like the way that's why people could barely submit this guy. But he's a master on the ground. He'll do nothing but take Floyd down and pummel him, bro.
Yeah,
probably
pure.
Him, choke him out, whatever. Knee bar, arm bar, Kimura. Floyd's done.
Yeah, he's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu all the way, this guy.
Yes, for sure, bro.
He'd had to fight like a striker, and
he did get his ass whipped in the streets, though.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he was at some party and he's talking shit to some guy, but coincidentally, the guy was involved in mixed martial arts, so he picked the fight with the wrong guy and whooped his ass.
No, guys, forget about Floyd entering a cage. That's not gonna happen. Forget.
Floyd wouldn't do that. He wouldn't.
No.
Floyd is known for taking the safe fights, and that's just not safe.
Is he really coming back, or what's going on?
Well, Dana White actually came out and somewhat confirmed it. They were at a game, and Floyd had tickets next to Dana White, and they sat there and they talked about it. And it's all about money. Dana White's definitely all about money. That's why he doesn't pay those UFC fighters anything. So if they can find a way to make a pretty penny out of it, I wouldn't doubt that it would happen. But it's just like the tension fight, man. Floyd's not going to take a fight that he doesn't know he can win. And that's just how I really have to believe it. Even if we have an all stand-up fight in the MMA cage, it's not going to be knees and kicks and shit. So Floyd's not going to take on a fight he doesn't know he can win. No MMA fighter that's elite in striking is going to stand a chance against Floyd boxing. What's his name? Anderson Silva, which is huge compared to Manny Pacquiao, right? And he fought welterweight in UFC, which is 170 or something, right? So he was talking about a sparring match, 3-round sparring match he had with Manny Pacquiao. Little old Manny Pacquiao. Anderson Silva arguably was one of the greatest strikers in the UFC history, period, right? He said Manny Pacquiao beat him up every single round. And he wasn't joking. Now, this is Manny Pacquiao, the big old Anderson Silva. Nobody beats Floyd in the UFC in a boxing match, period. They don't.
So I have... Yeah, go ahead.
What if they did alternating rounds? So round 1, 3 minutes boxing.
Right.
If you make it 3 minutes with Floyd, then you get 3 minutes MMA rules. And see
Floyd
if then it gets a little survival element because you only got to make it through 3 minutes at a time with the guy.
Yeah.
It's not totally like, all right, now it's not one set of rules. He's going to get fucked over eventually. It's can he last to get it to his round or he can knock him out or choke him out.
Yeah, I still got Floyd losing. If they did boxing first, and then he'll lose in the second round. Because it's like, remember old Kimbo Slice? He was an excellent, fighter from the street. But as soon as he got taken down, he was done with. Yeah. That's what they're going to do. They'll get Floyd to the ground, pummel him. And Floyd, I would see Floyd tapping out. They'll put him in one of those arm bars or something. He never felt hyperextension. That motherfucker tap out quick as hell, bro.
It'll be really interesting. Okay, because in one sense now you're forcing Floyd to go for a knockout in that first round. So he's got to get more aggressive. And then can he just learn enough just to defend himself on the ground, just to not get choked out, not get pummeled? Can he do something to mitigate it just enough?
Did James Toney?
No. But Kimbo, he got taken down in his second fight. I remember he was languishing on the ground. He couldn't do anything, but he hung in there.
Kimbo Slice was a bit different from Floyd though, because he was involved in all of these backyard fights. Sometimes there was rules, sometimes there weren't. So he wasn't just a total striker. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So
Street
Kimbo
fighting.
was a bit different. Yeah. Just like I'll take you back in history. I don't know how much you know about MMA, UFC, but we'll go back in the day to a guy called Tank Abbott.
Yep. Oh, I know all about him. DL Abbott.
Right. So Tank Abbott was a bouncer. He had no MMA experience, none of that. But what he did have was street fighting experience. Street fights go to the ground sometimes. And Tank Abbott knew how to somewhat defend takedowns. He came in there and beat the hell out of a lot of guys in the octagon. So when you have that street fighting experience, that gives you somewhat of an edge. And that's what Tank and Kimbo had. So they're a little different.
Dude, I love, I don't watch current UFC, but I love, like, the first 15. I love them. So if you ever want to talk about, like, you want to do a stream talking about some of the old ones.
Oh, I remember all of them. Like, name me one UFC from 1 to 15. I'll tell you who was fighting.
I can't do that.
Okay, Bucha. What was the one where Tank Abbott debuted?
UFC 5. I guess the final was Oleg Taktarov.
You got there. It was UFC 6.
Oh, 6.
And he beat up the Hawaiian dude.
Oh, no, it's 2. 5. Dan Severn won UFC 5. Yeah.
Severn won UFC
5.
It could have been 5, or maybe it was.
Check. It was 5 against Taktarov, and then 6.
It was the first, like it went. First one was Hoist. Second one was Hoist. Third was no. Third wasn't Hoist because he quit. He fought Kimo Leopoldo.
Oh, he stopped.
He forfeited in the next round because he was exhausted. So it went to the Ninja Cop, Steve Jenham, the replacement.
Yeah, then 4th was Royce again against Dan Severn.
UFC3.
Wow, you guys got a good memory. Y'all remember when Royce fought the 8th wonder of the world, big black motherfucker, and beat him? He did he armbar him or rear naked choke? I don't know. It was one of them. Real big motherfucker.
You in UFC?
I don't know if it was UFC or if it was
his comeback thing when I didn't watch those.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might have been just a mixed martial art, but the dude was like freaking 6'7" and just fucking huge, bro. And they was like, "Oh, no way, Royce beats him, man." I mean, Royce Gracie beat man. Royce got the dude down, and it was just kind of amazing. He got him out. I don't remember if it was an armbar or I think it was a rear naked choke or an armbar. I'm not sure, but he submitted him. And the dude looked like he was 4 times the size of Royce, but he was just showing his jiu-jitsu, like how jiu-jitsu can win. And any fight, it doesn't matter the size of the guy. But the big black guy was called the 8th wonder of the world. He was fucking huge, bro.
Oh, I don't remember.
8th wonder of the world.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who it was, man.
I can't remember the guy's name.
It's not the Grand Canyon. Google try and tell me it's the Grand Canyon. Oh, fuck it.
Yeah, Royce only fought from UFC 1 to UFC 5. Then he bounced, and then he came back way back later, and he fought the guy who beat. Who did GSP win to become the champion?
See, now you get into my realm. I don't know this shit.
Anyways,
I know who GSP is, but
yeah. I don't. Dog, my memory is fucking shot. I smoked too much weed, so when you start asking me what happened back when, like, forget about it. I remember fights, and but I can't give you dates and shit like that. Forget that. I've been smoking herbs since I was 11 years old.
Hey, Barry in the chat is asking, anyone watch Pride Fighting Championship? Of course, Pride was the shit. Well, that was better than UFC, man.
Pride, One Rack. I watch Bellator. I watch a lot of that shit, bro. I love it.
Yeah, I gotta get more on Pride because I got a friend who's into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's always telling me Pride was the shit.
I used to watch it, and I have all the DVDs, man.
The what?
That shit was. I have all the DVDs. You can buy it on DVD, man.
Oh shit, word.
Yeah, all of them. That was great, man. And I don't know. You had like people with like it was more international. I feel. You had like kickboxers from K1 going to in the UFC. It looks like it's more Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestlers now. There's not a lot of like K1 champions or stuff like that, kickboxing champions, glory champions. None of that.
Azuma Zoo. I think that was him, Ness.
Who's
Azuma?
Azuma?
I think.
Azuma zoom zoom in your boom boom.
Yeah. Damn, what was I just thinking about? Yeah, UFC. One thing I like about UFC is, and was the reason with Gracie. You know, guys caught up. You know, guys used to come in there. You know, they had this tough man competition. It was called Tough Man, and the pure mixed martial artists used to beat those guys up because they had the technique, the skills, the jiu-jitsu, and all of that. But once guys caught up and they started practicing, you know, Hoist didn't have the extreme advantage. Guys just got better. And so when you get into today's game, like the reason the wrestlers do so well is this simple fact that ground control, you know, that's all wrestlers are trained on, that ground control. You know what I mean? And so this is why one of the best matches you'll see is a grappler, a master grappler versus a master wrestler. Always a great match right now because of that ground control. You know, I watch grappling contests. They're boring to people who like stand-up fight.
Yeah, of course.
I watch those.
Yeah, those jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Yeah.
Like, now those fights take like fucking an hour or some shit.
Yeah.
And they're like barely making any moves.
They cut them back now, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they cut them back because of how long they used to take, and they're timed, and I think it's only like 3 rounds now.
Oh, they have rounds. Okay.
Yeah, they got rounds now. I think it's only like 3, but it's not a snooze fest as some people call it. But I think it's interesting. I don't think it's a snooze fest. You just have to appreciate the art.
Yeah, some grapplers disagree with having rounds because they say sometimes it's gonna take 15 minutes for me to get into a position. So now you're breaking it up, and I have to restart. So it's not fair for me, you know. But I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you. I was at a party. I was at a party over the summer. I got hammered, and they started antagonizing me. The kid wanted to wrestle with me, and I fucking was creeping in. I was working. I was about to get an arm bar, and then the kid was like, all right, somebody stepped in. All right, you guys been on the ground too long. Stand it back up. I was like, fuck. I had him. I was so fucking furious, dude. I was blackout drunk. I was bad.
Watch out, man. This fucking StreamYard's zapping my phone. I'm trying to work out why it's doing that.
The battery or what?
I don't know. This phone's got David Price stamina, mate. David Price.
I don't like StreamYard, man.
Yeah, you're too far away from the tower.
Yeah, I'll be throwing the towel in on this fucking phone in a bit, I tell you. So what are you guys talking about? Because obviously I've had to recharge. Oh, why is happening?
I don't know.
We was messing around with UFC.
All right.
Talking about the early UFCs when it was.
Yeah, when I preferred it. When you just get a random cowboy off the street to get his face caved in for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Oh no. You got a sumo wrestler against a karate guy. I was
Yep.
like,
One of my favorites. And the sumo wrestler fucking pushed the karate guy through the door.
He
like,
hacked me,
broke
yeah.
the fence door on the cage. And the announcer was like, that's ultimate sumo, I guess. He did it. That's what he's meant to do.
It was like Mortal Kombat or something.
Them boys had some balls because back then the refs would just jump in when someone was out. Shots to the chin.
Oh, there were some dudes who I've seen some dudes near dead. A couple fights where guys were pounded into like dust, bro.
That's why you got to respect Hoist Gracie, really. You're fighting them big guys, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
avoid it up. There was no VADA test. You look at Ken Shamrock. You got this guy was on something, man.
Yeah.
What about
Shamrock?
The one? Don. What's his name? Don
Fry.
Don Fry.
Mark Coleman.
Oh, Tom Selleck.
No. Mark Coleman. That guy was.
Marco Coleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was freaking. Yeah, he definitely was awesome. You know, Shamrock was a superstar over in Japan, bro. That shoot fighting shit.
Pancreas, yeah.
Yeah, bro, he was freaking. They loved him.
Pancreas.
Pancreas or pancreas? I never knew. Never watched it. Oh wait, Bas Rutten was there.
Bas Rutten. I remember.
Oh yeah, pancreas. However you say, you could strike with your palms. Remember?
Yeah, and he would palm you right in the pancreas.
Yeah, he fought Frank Shamrock 3 times.
Pancreas shot. He would hit you with. Drop down.
Yeah.
My favourite days of the UFC was when when Chuck Liddell and Matt Hughes were at their best. And
Not huge. That's the guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Matt Hughes was a monster, bro.
He fought Royce in the comeback. Right?
the fight versus was it Frank Trigg? I think it was
Another name.
Frank Trigg he fought, and I'll tell you what, he was seconds away from being choked out, and I don't know how he made it through that, but he ended up stopping Trigg in it. And fights like that were amazing. I mean, Chuck Liddell versus Ortiz is always one that I always remember. Well, I never liked Tito Ortiz. I always thought he was a right tosser.
Oh, I hated that guy.
But yeah, they weren't as skilled as they are now. I mean, for me, John Jones is the greatest man to ever go in an octagon.
Yeah, he has everything, like the athleticism, the height, the reach. You know.
I mean, he out wrestled Daniel Cormier. I mean, that's ridiculous. This guy's a stand-up fighter, and he out wrestled Daniel Cormier. Let that sink in for a bit. There's no way.
Yeah.
To beat him. The guy, I mean, he keeps you at range with his long legs and his arms. He once he grabs hold of you, fucking snap you in half. Once you're on the floor, you're in massive trouble. Just ask Matt Hamill that. And then obviously with the grappling and the wrestling, he's so good at that as well. I mean, Daniel Cormier. That's why Daniel Cormier can't beat John Jones, because Cormier needs to use his wrestling with them sort of strikers. Just couldn't do anything with the guy.
Oh yeah, Tito Toledo said Cain Velasquez and Tito Ortiz in their prime. Yeah, they were pretty vicious there. Tito Toledo.
Tito Ortiz, I mean, didn't really defend against anyone for me. I mean, and then as soon as he fought someone half decent, Chuck Liddell, he got smashed to pieces. So,
yeah,
the Huntington bad boy, the Huntington Beach bad boy, isn't it? Fucking Tito. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think he's still a Hall of Fame, and I think he held the record, didn't he, for title defenses? I think.
Tito just couldn't deal with a great striker like that. I mean, Chuck Liddell had those hands, man, and you know what else Chuck Liddell had that I don't know. You know, UFC fans know, but he had pretty good takedown defense. So that was something about Chuck Liddell. Like, you couldn't just go in there and take him down. You know, he knew how to sprawl and spread those legs, get those underhooks in. He knew he had really good takedown defense. So if you can't take him down and he lands one of those shots on you, you out of there.
Yeah.
Someone saying Del Boy is asking, is John Jones PEDs or not? He's a generational talent. Oh, okay, yeah, he's making a statement.
Yeah, John Jones, man.
Statement. Yeah, statement.
Forget about the PEDs. I mean, not forget about them. I mean, of course, it's a factor. I don't think John Jones ever needed them. He didn't need them. The guy's super talented. I mean, he can do damn near everything in the ring. He's one of the. He and Anderson Silva are the only two guys I've seen knock a guy out with a reverse elbow. Like, who does that, bro? Who even tries to get close enough to do that? Both of those guys did that. They knocked guys out with a reversed elbow. When I first seen Anderson Silva do it, I didn't even know what the fuck a reverse elbow was until he came up and under like that. And so John Jones has all the tools. Like, he never needed to take that stuff.
Yo, okay. You guys want to hear a story about a reverse elbow?
Go ahead.
Personal story? Check it out. So for a few years, right? I did like karate. I did Kempo karate. I got my black belt. I was an instructor for a while, right? Like a assistant instructor, like little kids, adults, everything. And if we ever did sparring, it's like, okay, you do anything in sparring you want, but don't do anything spinning where your back ends up facing the person, because you're going blind and you might hit them with some like spinning back elbow, for instance. Don't go for it. You might actually hurt somebody. So a few years ago, I ran into this girl from high school, right? And start talking. She gave me her number, and I was like, "Oh, let's hang out." She's like, "Yeah, I go to this like Muay Thai class on the weekends. You should come with me." I was like, "Okay, fuck it, why not?" So I went with her, and they were like, "Okay, we're gonna spar now," and they're just fucking around, a little light sparring. All of a sudden, I just hear some girl, right? She's, and just start crying. I look, this girl I went with, someone hit her with a spinning back elbow in the fucking face. And she's on the ground crying. I'm like, oh my God.
And you weren't even drunk.
They told me years ago, don't ever try it.
Yeah, well, John Jones pulled it off, man.
Yeah, it
No,
worked.
he's a great fighter, man.
Yeah, he is. He is, man.
Anderson Silva front kick KO was sick. Yeah, that was against Vitor Belfort.
Chaco Omondu. That was the guy's name.
Okay.
He was 250 kilos.
Chaco Amundu.
Yeah, I was just looking it up. He was 250 kilos, and Royce beat him. Guy was just freaking huge and massive.
Oh, that was in Pride. No, wait. I don't even know where that fight took place.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it was the UFC, but it was just Royce was showing off the fact that jiu-jitsu can overcome. And the guy was a fighter. He was big. He was a fighter, but Royce still got him. This motherfucker was massive. Like, just one of these guys, like, you can't wrap your arms around him. You're going to get halfway around his body. Yeah. So, guys, Bucho, appreciate you, my brother. I got to go set up for a basketball game. I got a basketball live I'm doing tonight. Lakers and the Clippers. No. Rephrase that. Lakers and the Bucks, two best teams in the league. So may the best man win tonight.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us, man.
Appreciate you. All right, Revolution.
D, have a good one, brother.
All right.
All right, we're gonna end it, I guess. Stu's like, God knows where he is.
Oh, Bucho, come on, just me and you, my brother. I just want to chill.
Well, I'm gonna bounce in 30 minutes. I'm waiting for my girlfriend. I don't know when she's gonna come, but what do you want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about in the chat?
I don't know. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a little while since I've been on the fucking show. That's what happens. You got a girlfriend, it fucking eats up your time.
Mm-hmm.
Bucho, you should get some socks made, man. Some BDA special socks, bro.
I know what you're talking about.
Merch. Let's do it
for Christmas. All right.
Well,
would you guys be interested in buying?
I think it's a little late for Christmas.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll do it for.
I think Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
Day, then my birthday, then Easter.
Let's ask the people in the chat. Would you be interested in some BDA socks?
You know, guys like these wacky like tube socks, these novelty like meme tube socks they got now.
Hey, can we put like? Remember the Al Heyman Moon God?
Yep, we're gonna do Moon
God. I don't think we can. I think it would be copyrighted or something. We'd get a letter from the PBC or some shit.
We'll do a little bootleg, little underground thing, you know. If you know, you know. You get it, you get it. We'll do like a fight poster, like a Johnny versus Recognize commemorative fight poster for that awesome Trivia TKO inaugural edition. And by the way, people have been asking me, Bucho. People have been asking me. You know, he ain't got his headphones in. But everybody, you know, we've been wondering about good old Trivia TKO. When's that happening, Bucho? People have been asking.
I don't know. We got to fix the whole thing.
Why'd you tell everybody it's fixed?
No, you know what I mean. Fixed, like the brackets and everything.
I got you. Some new people dropped in, dropped out. You know what? I think we should just start doing straight up. We've seen a few matches. Let's just have people go right for fucking Recognize, right for the fucking championship. Maybe we'll have to cut the rest of the tournament short. And you know what they say? All fates have changed. All fates always changing. So,
yeah,
that's what they keep telling me, man.
The Fight God says Revolution beats up women.
I don't beat up women, man.
Well, you admitted that you did. So.
Well, no, it's context. It's context, not content.
Exactly. It's not what you know, it's what you
can
prove.
Like, hey, I liked it. She's like, yeah, that was really good, she said. You did a good job.
Revolution is the best intergender street fighting champion. Yeah, that's gonna be coming up.
Intergender street fight too. that it's brawling in fucking bars, hitting bitches with bottles.
Blue Collar Sports TV. Dalboy saying I should be the mandatory if that is the case. What's he talking about? Listen, the tournament will be finalized. The trivia show will continue. Just give us some time.
We ready.
All right.
Ready. We'll get down. Bucho, you look like you're ready to go. Have a nice night with your girl. Jingle bells.
Yet, but all right. Yeah, we'll end it. We'll do a show tomorrow on Discord, not this piece of crap.
Cool. Yeah, I'll be around tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Friday? Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right, money. Peace.
All right, take care, man. Thanks for joining us. Everybody in the chat as well. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, by the way, guys, the Chavez Jr. fight, that is tomorrow. I thought it was Saturday. And it's true. We had the weigh-in today. So the fight is tomorrow. So we'll do a pre-fight show for that fight. Chavez Jr., fucking lazy guy, didn't make weight, but he's still fighting Daniel Jacobs on the zone. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.